In today's video, I'm going to show you another great little company out of California who's making a great product for the Starlink Mini. This is the Starlink Mini mount from Veritas Vans. What's up everybody, welcome to Freely Roaming. My name is Dan. So when we were starting to build this truck camper, we started looking for ways to mount our Starlink Mini on the roof. There's a lot of choices out there, but one company reached out to me and said, hey, we got this great product. We're from California also. Do you want to check it out? So I checked out the website. It's called Veritas Vans. They are a company out of San Luis Obispo who's been making products for vans for several years. They started out making different components for different vans, and then they got into the Starlink mounting business. So they have a couple of different mounts, one for the Starlink Mini, and they also have a similar version for the Starlink Gen 2 and Gen 3. Since I have the Starlink Mini, they sent me the full Starlink Mini kit for me to try out, and I want to show you guys. It is a really nice, well-built product, and I'm really impressed by all the options that it has available. So instead of explaining it to you, why don't I just show it to you? Okay, here we go. This is the full Starlink Mini kit that I got from Veritas Vans out of San Luis Obispo, California. The heart of this system is this really well made. Looks like it's CNC machined polypropylene plastic. So that's going to be very stable in direct sunlight for years and years and years. And it is a two-piece setup. So there's the top, and then there's the ring that bolts under using these 8 bolts. So let me go ahead and back these out. I'll show you how this installs and what the options there are. And while I'm doing that, you can see there are a bunch of different options. You basically pick and choose how you want to mount your Starlink Mini. You can use magnets, or you can use their very strong suction cup system. And if you want all of them, you have to buy these different components sort of a la carte to figure out exactly how you want to mount it. But if you know exactly what you want, you can buy the base kit for $79. So this frame is only $79, and then figure out if you want the magnet system or if you want the suction cup system. And if you have a truck like ours, which is a Ford Super Duty that is no longer magnetic, for a few years now, the Ford Super Duty is made of a aluminum alloy, so you can't actually stick magnets to it anymore. So what you can do instead, or if you have a glass roof, for example, and you don't want to use suction cups, they have these little metal discs, and they're really nice. You can see like it's got their Veritas Van logo kind of lasered in there. Really thick disc of ferrous metal, and it's got a full coverage of 3M VHP on the back. So you would stick these to whatever you want to mount it on, and then the magnet would stick to that. So you can essentially mount it in anything. Okay, so I got the screws backed out. As you can see, here's the ring piece, and this is the top piece. Here's my Starlink Mini, and the Starlink Mini just sits perfectly into this space. I mean, there is hardly any wiggle, just a tiny little bit of wiggle, but once you cinch it down, there's not going to be any movement at all. So this is the ring, and you want to make sure that you have this part facing up, because these are the holes that these attachments will spin into, and that's how you secure them. So then you just put the 8 screws back in, or the 8 bolts back in. These are stainless bolts, very high quality. The other cool thing that you can have, when they sent me this, I was wondering, well, why is there this handle thing? Like, what do I do with this? And then what I figured out is that this is actually a piece that you can swap out from the side. Let me show you. This ring is actually made up of 4 pieces that go together like a puzzle. So as you can see, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, and the ends just kind of pop out. So as you see, this one can be replaced with this one, and then when you do that, you end up with a handle on one side. So if you wanted to have a handle instead of just a perfect ring, you just do that. So let me go and leave the handle on, and just as the same way, you put these bolts back in and you tighten it down. Comes with the proper size Allen wrench, of course. Very easy to do. You want to, as you spin these down, you want to kind of tighten them evenly. Don't go all the way first. I'm just going kind of diagonal, and go diagonal. Just barely finger tight, and then switch to another one. That one will go diagonal here. I'll go ahead and fast forward through this so you don't have to see the whole thing. So once you've got them all in, you can kind of get them a little bit tighter. So now you also want to do opposite sides so you get the pressure pressing down on your Starlink evenly. Okay, there you go. Now the Starlink is securely mounted inside. This is very heavy duty, very sturdy. And this is your base. So to install the magnets, these are super strong magnets. You can kind of see that there are 6 magnets inside each of these discs. They're super strong rare earth magnets, neodymium magnets. They just go into these holes and you spin them on. Super easy. And then once you got the 4 spun on and you want to use it as a magnetic base, that's it, you're done. You stick it on the roof of your car, assuming it works with magnets. You can also doesn't necessarily apply to the magnets, but you can also use these suction cups. As I said, you know, these are super strong. Like, I don't want to put too much overlap because otherwise I won't be able to easily get these magnets off with these discs. So now these suction cups are super cool. They're really strong as well. And what's nice about these is that they go on the same way. They also just spin on. And then once they've spun on, the way that they work, there's a little protective cup so you don't want to damage the rubber that's on these. Once they're spun on, you can use the suction cup to suction to like a roof of a car, a sunroof of a vehicle. And the way that they work is that you just sit it on the flat surface. Like, this table isn't even really that flat. But once it's on there, you use this as a pump to get all the air out. On a glass surface or on a painted metallic surface, this pump will suck all the air out, making these suction cups the strongest suction cups I have ever seen. Let me just show you how one of these work. Go ahead and put it on. And you pump, you get all the air out. You can see it flatten. And when it's flat like that, it is on there. You can see I'm shaking this whole glass. It's not budging. And to get it out, you just kind of lift one of the corners. Comes out super easy. So this is really cool. Now what's cool about this is that some people I know like to use their Starlink on the inside of their car beneath the sunroof. So how do you do that? You can actually do that with this as well. You just spin it around, just like those 4 holes. There are also 4 holes on this side. And these suction cups spin on, just like they do on the bottom. So now you can mount these suction cups on the inside. So stick them to the sunroof, underside of the sunroof. Use the pumps to get the air out. And there you go. You can also get the 12-volt optional cable if you want to use their cable. This is a really heavy-duty cable. I've never seen such a heavy-duty cable for Starlink. And it comes with an attached 12-volt cigarette lighter plug, so it's ready to go. And it's super long. I believe this is 30 feet. About 10 meters or 30 feet. And there you go. Really like this system. Again, the base kit is $79. That just gives you the mount or the enclosure. And each of these other mounting solutions are optional. Let me just give you an idea of what the prices are. So $79.99 for the Starlink mount. The magnet setup for these magnets, they are $29.99. For the suction cups, they're $59.99. Or you can buy the suction cup and the magnet combo for another $69.99. These discs, they are $29.99 for 4, or you can buy multiple. They sell a 3-pack for $69.99, or a 5-pack, which is 20 discs, for $99.99. And of course, you can just get your own. You know, if you got VHB, you got access to a way to cut flat metal surfaces, you can just do that. And this handle that replaces this part is also an option for $19.99. So there's lots of different things that you can do to customize exactly how you're going to mount this. So again, this is from Veritas Vans out of San Luis Obispo, California. Another small company doing really cool things. I'm happy to be able to work with these kind of small companies in the Starlink space that are kind of making a name for themselves. You know, there are just a lot of accessories out there, and especially these days with the uncertain tariffs and things like that, buying stuff that's shipped overseas can be a little challenging based on, you know, when you buy it and the situation of the company. But these guys, they're out of San Luis Obispo. Some of these components they may be sourcing from overseas, but I know they're making their enclosures right here in California. So there you go. That is the Starlink Mini mount by Veritas Vans out of San Luis Obispo, California. Great guys. I talked to them a little bit about their product, and they're very excited to be sharing this with you guys. They don't make a ton of these, so they may not always have them in stock, but I'll put the link to the website down below so you can go check them out. There's also a whole bunch of different van related products that they also make and sell. So give them a visit at Veritas Vans. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. Thanks as always for watching. See you guys in the next one.